recording now. We've got 2 chapters in trigonometry. Generally, it's called trigonometric identities and heights and distance. Children, one thing is going to hover you all like a witch in this year, that is word problems. You'll have them in heights and distance. You will have them in quadratic equations. You'll have them in linear equations. And sometimes also maybe in, if your bad luck is very bad, then in arithmetic progression also you're going to get word problems. Why I say you all are not that good? Since your content viewing is less, you know what is content viewing, watching movies, cinemas and all. So your ability to break down problems to stories is less. So what do? Sir, do we get it wrong? No, you all don't get it wrong. You all straight away put formulas. Whether it is my grade 8 student, a man buys a cycle, SP equal to CP equal to, okay, discount equal to SP, CP, CP, GP, SP, ये सब करते रहता है. वो problem को समझने की कोशिश नहीं करता, right? So heights and distance will be like that. Okay, let's start trigonometry, and we start trigonometry with a little bit what you call illustrations, so that it makes you easy to understand. Okay, now say suppose, I don't know how good my drawing is, and based on my drawing, say I have a tree out here. Okay, I have a tree out here, right? And let's say this is a very tall tree, okay? And in this tall tree, a lovely bird is sitting. Okay? There's a lovely bird sitting out here. And you are positioned out here, right? And you cannot climb the tree. You cannot climb the tree. What are the uses of trigonometry? You can't climb the tree, but you are interested to find that at what height this bird is sitting from the horizontal. Trigonometry makes these calculations much more easy if you have some just basic aids, like say some threads or some mathematical things. This becomes very easy. Now, the study of trigonometry, tri stands for 3, gono stands for angle and measurement. Trigonometry dates back to BC period. The Greeks were the ones who used to do this, and they were so advanced that they could actually calculate by what time the enemy ships are going to, if you've seen movies like Troy and all, by what time those enemy ships are going to hit our bay, they could actually make it. Even when you have seen some movies where the archers take aim, right? Archers don't shoot you directly, they will be shooting up in a projectile manner. They say, let the ships come more close, they'll come in our range. Otherwise, you're firing beyond range. It will not fall in range. So all these things comes from trigonometry. Or else say there is a car out here, right? Let's say there is a car, and you know what is the velocity this car is traveling with on this side. You can actually calculate by what time this car is going to come and hit this tree. These all calculations are possible. All this is, and in heights and distance, which is the next chapter of it, you will be given such scenarios and problems based on such scenarios. So every problem has to be broken down into a, what you call a story. And or else imagine that this is a river. This is a river, and there would be a formation of a cloud out here. So many children, once a child asked me, sir, should we be very good in drawings when we do trigonometry? If you are, then it illustrates more better. Now this is what? This is a river. There will be an impression of this cloud on the river also. So it will be somewhere here. And come back to your grade 8. The river will act as a plane mirror. The object distance will be equal to the image distance. Ye sara kuch aayega. And they will ask, what is the depression of the cloud's image as seen by a hunter sitting on the tree at this much height? Angles will be given to you. Very interesting. Chale, ye sab to baad mein aayega. So let's get into the basics of trigonometry as we start. The word comes from tri, which means tri, means actually 3. Gono means angle, and metri means measurement. Dates back to the Greek period. Applicable right now, we will limit our studies only to right angle triangle. Don't miss a single class of this chapter. This some things I had taught last year as a brief, but again we will start from basic. This is applicable for right angle triangle. So what is a right angle triangle? A triangle in which one angle is 90 degrees. So this is my right angle triangle, and obviously it appears from the symmetry that this is 90 degree. And I call this or name this as ABC, my first thing would be sit on the 90-degree angle and try to look at the side that is bang opposite to 90. The side that is bang opposite to 90 is called my hypotenuse. Okay, is called my hypotenuse, right? Since this is a right angle triangle, this triangle will agree to my great grandfather Pythagoras, and Pythagoras theorem will be applicable for this. And Pythagoras theorem says that if you can somehow classify something as a base and the other as the perpendicular, we say that the hypotenuse square, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the square of the base added with the square of the perpendicular. I hope this much is known to you, right? अब इसमें थोड़ा सा रहेगा, which is perpendicular, which is base, we will see. This triangle could have been in what you got tilted manner also. Once it is kept in this way, it's easy for understand that this is the base on which the triangle is standing. Anyone has any doubts so far till now? Any issues? All understood? Right, fine. So as you go into physics and other classes, some beautiful combinations you should know that 3, 3, 4, 5 is a Pythagorean triplet. 3, 4, 5 is the smallest Pythagorean triplet. Understood? And when it is 3, 4, 5, although this is not a part of your chapter, but you should know when it is 3, 4, 5, then the angles we will have are 90-degree, 53-degree, and 37-degree. This, as students of science, you should know. Now, question is 90 is known, sir. Which will be 57 and which will be 53 and which will be 37 is actually the choice. So the angle opposite to a smaller side is always smaller in size. Obviously, if a crocodile opens its mouth by a small angle, the jaws will open by small angle. Now, suppose the crocodile has to eat me, it will open up a bigger angle. So this side will be bigger. So which is a smaller side? 3 is the smaller side. So the side opposite to 3 will always be 37-degree and this will be 53-degree. Remember this combination. In grade 11, many problems are given in physics which are based on this. And people say, sir, cos 37, how will I find out? Sin 37, how will I find out? Actually, if it is a 37, 53, 90, then you can just imagine that the triangle is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Acha, the triangle can be bigger than this also. Have you understood? So, but the lowest ratio we will get is 3, 4, 5. Have you understood? If I just extend this figure, then how much does it become? Suppose you multiply this 3 with 4. You will multiply 4 also with 4 and 5 also with 4. So it becomes how much? 12, 16, 20. Even that is a Pythagorean triplet. Like if you make it small, the smallest combination we can have is a 3, 4, 5. And in 3, 4, 5, the angle combination that will happen is always a 53, 37 and 90. Just remember this, okay? This is not a part of trigonometry. Okay. In our trigonometry, we actually study trigonometric ratios. Trigonometric ratios. Right? There are 6 trigonometric ratios which we will study. Our job will be, our aim will be to cover all 6 today as far as possible. So the 6 are written in this manner. I would say 3 main trigonometric ratios. I mean, don't write this in your book. Tell me. 3, I'm just writing BF means 3 boyfriend trigonometric ratios and 3 girlfriend trigonometric ratios will be there. Where each boyfriend will be mapped to one girlfriend. Don't write in your books. This is the best, easiest way to remember. Total how many trigonometric ratios? 6 trigonometric ratios. So if you know, if you know the 3 boyfriend, you can easily find out who are the 3 girlfriend and vice versa. We generally proceed from this side. Now you may say, sir, you are being very, very male dominant. You want to always fix the boyfriend. Tumhari marzi hai, tum isko yahan likh lo, usko likh lo. But there are 3 primary and 3 boy. And the relation between the boyfriend and girlfriend, mathematically you can't write all this. This is a reciprocal relation. Reciprocal relation. Okay? That's why I said boyfriend. This is just for understanding. Don't go and write all this in your school. This is only for understanding purpose. So I will have 3 trigonometric ratios and 3 reciprocals. The 3 trigonometric ratios we say are trigonometric functions, which we say the sine function. Then another will be known as the cosine function. And the third will be known as the tangent function. Sine, cosine, and tangent. Maybe a little bit Greek and Latin as of now, but they will get clear. The sine is actually represented as sin, and sine is a function. Sin, don't read it as sin. It is read as sine. Okay, sine. The cosine is read as cos, and the tangent is read as tan. These are functions. So it's a sine function, sine of something, cos of something, tan of something. It's a function. Okay, धीरे-धीरे देखेंगे. इतना समझ लो. Till here, have you understood? We are studying trigonometry. It's a study of ratios that are formed in a right angle triangle. A right angle triangle will have a base, a perpendicular, and a hypotenuse. Our job is to first identify which is the hypotenuse. Base and perpendicular might be a little bit, it might actually start bothering you, which is base and which is perpendicular. So as we learn, we'll get to know how to identify the base and perpendicular. But as of now, we should know hypotenuse, and this is always the longest side. 3, 4, 5 is the smallest Pythagorean triplet, where 5 square is 25, can be found by squaring 3, which is 9, and adding with the square of 4, which is 16. 16 plus 9 makes it 25. Clear? Okay. Then we understand trigonometric ratios. There will be 6, 3 and 3 reciprocals. As I said, 3 boyfriends and 3 girlfriends. So if you see the fourth trigonometric ratio, which will be the reciprocal of the sine ratio, this is known as cosecant. Okay, it's known as cosecant, and it is written as cosec. Foreign books will write it as CSC, and in more stylish foreign books they will write it as arcsine. ARC sine likha rahega. When American university they'll not say taking cosec, they'll say arcsine, arccos, arctan. Okay, the fifth one is the reciprocal. So cosec, this is same as 1 upon sine. Then the fifth one is known as the secant, which is read as sec, okay, which is 1 upon the cos function. These will all become clear, just write it. And the sixth one is known as the cotangent. The sixth one is known as the cotangent, and in short form known as cot, which is 1 upon the tan function. So all these happy stories finally come down to a small block, what we are going to study now. And that block is all about learning 6 trigonometric ratios. And the 6 trigonometric ratios are the sine ratio, the cos ratio, the tan ratio, the cosec, the sec, and the cot ratios. Okay? And these are ratios. Ratios of what? Sides. And sides of what? This particular triangle. Bas, khatam. Okay? We're going to take some ratios. Ratios of sides. Sides of what? Sides of this triangle. Any question at this stage by anyone? All fine? All okay? Okay? Right. Shall I go to the next slide then? Okay. Once we go to the next slide, again make your right angle triangle. And this time, I'm making my right angle triangle a little bit like this. Deliberately, I have made it like this. Okay. He's a very naughty boy, you know. He always keeps disturbing people. So ABC is a right angle triangle which is right angled at A. Right angled at A. Okay. Now we don't know which is base and which is perpendicular. ABC is a right angle triangle. So we start with the first one, that is the sine ratio, we will see. And in order to understand the sine ratio, we have taken triangle ABC, right angle. The proper way of writing is actually BAC, where the angle should be in between. Don't write it like this. The proper way to write it is triangle BAC, right angled at B. Okay, oh sorry, right angled at A. I had written A. Your internet connection might be slow, that you saw. Sir never writes from triangle BAC. So I told you that one thing which is clear with us is this is the hypotenuse. Sir, how did you understand that this is the hypotenuse? Always sit at the 90 degree and try to see what is right opposite to you. 90 में बैठ के मेरे सामने वाला side, that is always what? Hypotenuse. Okay. So the sine ratio, in order to take the sine ratio, we should actually take the sine ratio of a particular angle. Now we don't do this for 90 as of now. So we are left with two more angles, angle C and angle B. So let's say we start with angle C. Let's say we are starting with angle C. So this is angle C. And here comes what other day I told that you don't know. We represent angles with the Greek letter or the Greek word theta, theta, which is written O, just like the cursive O. And you guys will say, sir, I don't know how to write cursive. I can't do anything. There's O. Theta. Theta. Ajay, you could have done with B also. Sir, why did you go? I love C more. So I have kept it here. Right? So we will say sine of theta. Slowly we will write this as same as sine theta. Sine of theta. Sine is a function, okay? Sine theta. See, why it's a function means, suppose you see something like this. Sine theta divided by theta. You are not allowed to cancel theta, theta and say, sir, I committed a sin. Get it? You can't do that. Sine of theta is a function. Paneer, matar paneer. It's a different dish. Texture of paneer will change. Divided by paneer, white. Matar paneer. Saffron, soft, cooked, masaledar. Divided by paneer. You can't say paneer cut, sir, matar you eat. That's not possible. Okay. So sine of theta. So sine of theta as a ratio is said to be, the easiest way it says, very good. It's the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. So now question arises, so how to identify the opposite side? Once you know theta, you change your position and you come and sit at theta. And whatever you see bang opposite to you will be known as your opposite side. Very easy, children. The angle that you freeze, the bang opposite side is called the opposite side. Had you sat on B, then the opposite side would have been AC. Is this clear? Anurag, mundi niche chala gaya, samajh mein aaya to? You have understood this? Have you understood the concept of opposite side? Sit on the angle that you are interested in. I'm interested in theta, and the side bang opposite to theta. Had I sat on this angle, this is my opposite side. Had I sat on this angle, this is my opposite side. Right? So my opposite side in this case would be what, children? AB upon hypotenuse. And what is the value of hypotenuse? BC. Is this fine with all of you? This is sine ratio. Sine is always opposite side by hypotenuse. Okay. The first boyfriend gone. Second boyfriend is cosine, which is cos of theta. We will be henceforth write as cos theta. It is said to be adjacent side by hypotenuse. All we will do, again I say, eat it slowly. Now jackfruit is only being cut right now. I'll do it. Don't worry, I'm here. Every year I teach this only. I'll also learn something with you. Okay, adjacent side. Now since once you get the right angle triangle which is given to you, your first job is to sit on the perpendicular and identify the hypotenuse. After that, you identify the angle for which you are doing this calculation. Everything is being done for theta. So theta means this is the opposite side. This is the hypotenuse gone. So out of three sides, two sides gone. And then one little master who lives down the lane will be known as my adjacent side. Okay. Had you sat on B, then this would have become your opposite side and this would have become your adjacent side. Adjacent side last mein. Sabko dene ke baad jo bachta hai, give it to Vakul. Simple. He loves caring and sharing. Okay. So can we write out here, what is our adjacent side now, beta? AC divided by BC. Okay. Now sine of theta. Okay. Now theta is which angle, children? This is the angle C. We could also written it as sine C, sine of angle C or sine C. Even in higher classes, it will be written Every time you did not, theta is the measurement. C can be, this is also your sine C, because you're doing for C. It's the same thing. Sine A or sine, if A was 30, you write sine 30. समझ में आ रहा है? Have you understood? Very good. I'm very intelligent children. I really like you all. The third ratio is known as the tan ratio, tan of theta, which is written as tan theta. Now it can be written in small, lower cases or in upper cases. So this is opposite side by adjacent side, which means the opposite side is AB divided by the adjacent side, which is AC. This is known as my one by one. How we confused?
Yeah.
Oh, this is cos C. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Very good. This is cos C. It was cos C. Maybe there was some digital delay. Cos C. This is tan C. Thank you. Three ratios: opposite by hypotenuse, adjacent by hypotenuse, opposite by adjacent. Yes, sir. Yes. Again, I'm saying all this. You all have all watched the first episode. That free episode everyone has watched in Netflix. Now just wait. Paid versions are going to start now. See, when you watch us, suppose sometimes what happens, you start a movie, your mom or somebody might be in the kitchen, and then you say, once mommy comes, we'll restart. Now you have watched, that 20 minutes is very khalwali for you, because there's something new for your mom, but for you. Now these children have seen a glimpse of it in grade 9, and in some schools it has been taught something. So wait. Chocobar. First layer gone, second layer gone, while it will fall 1 or 2 drops. Last May that layer will come out, the core of the chocobar. And after that, what will be remaining? The stick. Even that is tasty. When the entire ice cream goes away. Is this fine? Fine. Okay. If you see out here, okay, if you see, let's do a relation of sine of theta if you try to divide it by cos of theta. Okay, so we have what? Opposite side divided by hypotenuse, now being divided by adjacent side by hypotenuse. Okay, adjacent side by hypotenuse. And going to grade 8, rational numbers, when you divide, what do? You multiply with the reciprocal. Yes or no? So now what will you do? You have the freedom to cancel hypotenuse and hypotenuse. And our great friend Lord Anurag has said just now that this becomes opposite side by what? Adjacent side, which is nothing but tan theta. So this is one more relation you got. If you know sine theta and cos theta, you can formulate tan theta by the relation that tan of theta is equal to sine theta by cos theta. And Anurag sir, satisfied? Okay. Cos theta by sine theta will give you tan theta's girlfriend cot theta. That is more later. ये लगता है और आगे तक story देख के आया है. अच्छा, hold. Is this much fine? So what did we start with? Started with a right angle triangle. First identified what is the hypotenuse. Then we are trying to now identify 6 trigonometric ratios, out of which 3 primary and 3 are their reciprocals. We will first keep our headache only with the 3 primary. In order to identify the 3 primaries, we first take any one angle. This can be theta. You could have done for this also, right? I just want you all to do for this one, children. Can you all do this? Let this angle be angle beta. As give me some rest. You try to write sine beta, cos beta, and tan beta. All of you in your book. Sine beta, cos beta, tan beta, and I'll get to understand you have understood or not. Sine beta will be opposite by hypotenuse. Opposite for beta, which will be adjacent by this. So do that. Or else make one fresh. make a fresh triangle. Make a fresh triangle. एक fresh triangle बनाओ. There is no alternative to hard work. Do not do shortcuts. Make one fresh triangle and make that triangle with only beta and 90 degree in it. Do not show theta. Only beta and 90 degree in it, right? Fine. And once you have made the triangle, mark the opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse. First, 90's opposite is what? Hypotenuse. Beta's opposite is opposite. And the one who is left alone shall be the adjacent. No answering by looking at the board and doing hit and trial. Nobody gets any chocolates from me if you reply first. If you reply last like a tortoise, but you have replied on your own ability, you get a lot of electronic dairy milk from me. Lots of love and blessings and some electronic dairy milks. Jaldi nahi chahiye. Aram se. Take your own time to find what is sine beta, cos beta, tan beta. Getting the maja part? Enjoying? No enjoying. Very dangerous batch, No emotions in this batch. We are happy, face is wrong. We are sad, face is same. At least Veda is smiling. This one is also. My previous talk is all unripened fruits. What? If you have been able to do, ask yourself a question that in midnight, if somebody wakes you up and gives you a right angle triangle and marks any angle, will you be able to find sine, cos, tan? You will rather say, sir, I'll find sine, cos, and tan I can also do sine upon cos.
I mean, adjacent side always has theta and sine.
No, nothing like that. It's nothing like that. No, don't make all those things, all those conclusions. Your conclusion is simple. I know what is 90. The bang opposite to 90 is hypotenuse. I'm supposed to first fill in these three sides. Hypotenuse is filled. Then the angle I'm in interest of what? Beta. Beta's opposite side will be now my opposite side. Then I'm left with only one side. This is this. This will become my adjacent. Are we done till this much?
Yes, sir.
Can we go ahead? Shreya, able to do, Bito? No, don't hide. If there's any problem, tell me. We'll wait. These are new topics. Aram se, do it, finish it, and then tell me. Then only I'll proceed. But don't say I have understood by not understanding. That is the biggest crime you will do to yourself. We are all here to learn. Even I made a mistake by writing 2 signs at this age. So you can also make mistake. It is good to be idiot in front of 13 people rather than losing marks out of idiotism. Which is better? To be idiot, na? I always write to your parents, thank you for giving the opportunity to learn with Veda. I never say I teach her. I also learn. Learning ka koi end hai kya? Every day you roll a puri, you learn something new. Shall I go ahead? Right, very good. So I go ahead now, and now we will go into something which is known as, because it's not about only learning from your side. Now we will see how we learnt it. Okay, how we learned it in our days. All these things were not there. So ABC, this is 90 degree, and let's say this is theta now. Okay, again, once again. Now go back to my childhood and I teach you, because in many books you'll find it like this. Now they will write sine theta is a ratio of perpendicular over hypotenuse. This is nothing wrong. Even in many foreign books, you will find it as sine theta written as P by H, as perpendicular by hypotenuse. Now, one thing we know, that 90's opposite is always known as my hypotenuse. But we have a common consent that, perpendicular means perpendicular. Nah. The one which stands, no. Theta's opposite side, the angle which you are interested in, that's opposite side is always known as the perpendicular. Now let's make the life a little bit more miserable. Okay, let's make our life more miserable. Okay, this. Now suppose I had made it something like this. Now, how do I know which is perpendicular? Nothing is standing perpendicular. So the formula is what? The angle on which you are interested, the side bang opposite to it always will be the perpendicular. So this is my perpendicular. And should you have slightest doubt, you always know that sine theta is opposite. So this is perpendicular, okay? So obviously we got it. Cos theta will be said as base upon hypotenuse. Children, even I'm a CBSE product. In my school days textbooks, this was only written base upon hypotenuse. Now, since you've got these two, so this becomes my base, right? And tan theta will be written as perpendicular. See, tan is very easy. Hypotenuse cancel, perpendicular upon base.
Base.
Which one?
In this triangle.
Okay, in this triangle, our friend Ved has a question that if we had not find out hypotenuse and perpendicular, how we will get base. So the question again comes simple. Given a right angle triangle, first observe the 90 and decodify the hypotenuse. Step 1. After that, go to your angle of interest and see right opposite to it and name it as perpendicular. And the last one. Understood? Very good. Very intelligent child. Okay. And the way you learnt it in your books, this is opposite side by hypotenuse. Cos theta is adjacent side by hypotenuse. And tan theta is what? Opposite by adjacent. Now this is known as the what do you call the boomers, and this is the skibbity people, you skibbity people, right? So now we need to also have some ideas. So even I did not know that, as I told in last class also, when I was teaching an IB girl, she's now working, she's an engineer now. She told me, oh sir, this is very easy, you should remember it like a rhyme called Sokatoa. And this you should now memorize, Sokatoa. I hope you have got it. Sine, the first one is always the angle is opposite by hypotenuse, okay? Sine is opposite by hypotenuse, cos is adjacent by hypotenuse, tan is opposite by adjacent. Sokatoa, 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 Sokatoa. Rega? Anyone remembers this one? I had taught this one also. Okay. For this one, when my late dad used to teach me mathematics, in those days, this was like a rhyme. This rhyme is something like this. Some people have curly brown hair. Very good. Brown hair turned permanently. See how hard ways we remembered. Turned permanently black. This was our days, okay? तभी ना तुम्हें मजा आएगा maths का. Okay, this was our days. Where we say sum stands for sine. This is sine. Okay, this is sine. Sine is perpendicular by hypotenuse, 1:n. Curly stands for cos, is base by hypotenuse, another ratio ends. Tan is equal to perpendicular by base. Your choice, the way you want to remember. Some people have curly brown hair turned permanently black. Okay? And there is one third way also to remember it. And this used to be in our, this is in vernacular medium, like in Hindi schools में ऐसे पढ़ाते थे. Okay. It used to be like this. Pandit Badri Prasad हर हर बोले, पंडित बद्री प्रसाद हर हर बोले, बाकी लोग सोना चांदी तोले. This is to be in a Hindi school. Our Hindi teacher used to explain us like this. Pandit, समझ ना? Sign is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Pandit Badri Prasad har har bole. You can ask many of your parents who have studied in Hindi medium or grandfather. बाकी लोग सोना चांदी तोले. सोना चांदी तोले means you are measuring gold, silver. ऐसा समझने के लिए. Understood? So are we fine now? But you guys, the skibidi guys, you're gonna always remember. So, ka toa. If you have understood this much, a lot of things you have understood in terms of what you call trigonometry's first part. Now, what type of questions at this level we should expect? The type of questions at this level with this much knowledge, I understand. Okay, I'm just writing a summary now. I'm just writing a summary, and correct yourself if there is any issue. At this level, the type of knowledge you should have is you should be able to identify and correlate anything with Pythagoras theorem. Okay, Pythagoras, the great Dadaji. You know, Dadaji should also be drawn. Dadaji. Okay, this is Lord Pythagoras. You should also know what is SOHCAHTOA. And based on this, preliminary problems that might come is type 1 problem, right angle triangle given to you, and 3 measurements abasa given to you, abasa given to you, and they will say some angle theta, and they'll ask you to find ratios sine cos tan. Remember, we have not yet handled the girlfriends. We have to handle them also. Sine cos tan. Another type of problem they might give you is Abba will be given, Sir will not be given. So that time you will remember your great grandfather, and you will say Sir is, and don't keep writing C square is equal to A square plus B square. Tapach! You know, grown up children. Understood? Another problem you might get is Asa, but not given, right? So this one will be what? So this is B. B will be equal to the bigger side square minus the smaller side square. See, these are tricks which will help you save time in exam. यही आप लोग लिख नहीं रहे हैं. You're feeling sir is saying all apathy. These are important. Because if you start calculating b square is equal to d square plus d square, so bring it this side, this goes that side, gone. 1 mark question. So how do you find out hypotenuse? Root under addition of squares, and the other two is root under difference of bigger square and smaller square. And the third problem could be like this: sir given and a is missing. A is root under sir square minus b square. And then find out what is sine cos tan. Such worksheets I will upload for you. I don't have the time in the world to do all these kiddo problems. This is your job. ये सब कर लोगे ना? इसमें क्या है? इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है. Fine. Okay, very good. Apart from this, we will have one more part in this chapter, which is called the identity part. Okay, identity part, that we will see later. Identity I'll take it to next class. Now we'll come down to something called values, which you may need in this exercise chapter also. Extensively you will need it in heights and distance, and that is something you have to memorize. Okay, is this much okay? Very good. Yes sir, please. Yes sir, please. Just you may please excuse yourself, and we will wait. Oh, that's embarrassing. We're counting time. Okay. So anyone, any question out here? No questions? Right, fine. So till he comes back, I'm just drawing one arbitrary triangle, right? And I'm taking the measurements as ABC. Children, this is your theta. Can you just find Sine theta, cos theta, tan theta. Do one thing. I'm your student, just narrate me the ratios. What is sine theta? Opposite by hypotenuse. So it should be A by B. What is cos theta? C by B. What is tan theta? A by C. So we should now go with their girlfriends also. What is cosec theta? 1 upon sine theta. So it should be B upon A. Hey, B upon A. Just invert this. Then what is sec theta? 1 upon cos theta. So it will become B upon C. What is tan theta? 1 upon cot theta. Sorry. What is cot theta? 1 upon tan theta, which should be C upon A. Okay. So some problems might come, which will tell you write all trigonometric ratios given some angles. This in ICSE is in grade 9. So this concludes first part of the knowledge. Ready for second part? Okay. So fast jana padega. Tabhi na gyan. First day is always dedicated to gyan. The more time you take here, the more you sweat in gyan, the less you bleed in exercise. But you all are opposite. The less we sweat in gyan, we love to bleed more in problems. Shall we? अरे अनुराग क्या नेबर के घर में चले गए क्या? Hello. He has gone to the neighbor's room. I don't feel like starting also. Bichara will miss something, some interesting. Hey, what about Rockwell? Half day school or full day school? How can you all be so mazdoors? Are you all that notorious that you all are made to do full day? You all have tiffin. Do you all get tiffin thefts happen in your school, in your class? No. Oh, very honest children. You two are always, you are the branded one, na? Tiffin bandit. Hey, in your school, tiffin theft happens. You have your school lunch or you take tiffin from lunch from home. Chori wori nahi hota hai tiffin. Yeah, you all are very good students here. In Chirac it happens, Aditi, tiffin theft? No. We too used to sniff and understand who has brought what. Our game sir also used to be with us in all these crimes, and sometimes just tell a child, don't get sandwiches every day. Miss, एक तो चोरी ऊपर से डिमांड चलते हैं. अरे अनुराग कितना लंबा गया ये. It's gone long. चलो. Okay. Some basics more. Although in Heron's formula chapter I have explained many number of times. Children, let's take an equilateral triangle. Okay, this is an equilateral triangle. Now this is offset from trigonometry. An equilateral triangle has got three sides which are equal. Some of the beautiful formations that take place in an equilateral triangle is, if you try to construct a median is line joining the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. For an equilateral triangle, this will become the angle bisector, the perpendicular bisector, as well as the median. Tino banega, okay? Which means that I will be left with the a by 2 and I'll be left with the a by 2 out here. Are we fine? Right? If I'm a and a by 2 out here, can I find out what is this value? This is a right angle triangle. Anything which is not the hypotenuse, whatever is this value, should be root under the hypotenuse square minus a square upon 4. If you have not understood, then it is a by 2 whole square. Correct. Which means it is how much? A minus a square by 4. Children, now we take 4 as the LCM. 4a square minus a square, which gives us how much? 3a square by 4. And getting out 4 outside becomes 2. A square becomes a. So it is a root 3. A root 3 by 2. Agreed? And that is one of the reason. That is one of the reason that when we say area of the equilateral triangle is half times the base is a multiplied by the height a root 3 by 2, and what you area of equilateral triangle root 3 by 4 root 3 by 4 root 3 by 4 root 3 by 4 a square. You bhutnikas, this has come from here only. Have you understood how to get the area of a? And if you actually apply what you call Heron's formula, then what is the semi-perimeter? A by 2. Then it's how much? Let's see. The semi-perimeter is how much? 3a by 2. So what should be the area? Root over s into s minus a. So what is s minus a? 3a by 2 minus a. So it is how much? A by 2. 3a minus 2a by 2. So it is a by 2. Agreed? And a by 2 will be multiplied 3 times. A by 2, a by 2. So how much is it? Root 3 a4 2. So it is 4 square. Agreed? यहाँ से बाहर निकालो. A4 will come out as a square. 4 square will come out as 4. All are same. No point in rectifying. Whenever you fall in problem, you can actually do this. Have you understood? Now, sir, why are you doing all this nonsense in this chapter? The reason. Okay, children. We will also need to do something called trigonometric ratios for select angle measures. Okay, and this will be more needed in your next chapter, though in this chapter one exercise or some problems may come which will need this. Trigonometric ratios. Now what did you find out so far? Sine theta, sine beta. No, now it will be sine of some value for some select angle measures, and the select angle measures are 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. Understood? That means to understand it in a more better manner, we know something like the Cartesian coordinate system. You know that? Yeah, very good. So this is the Cartesian coordinate system. As you go to higher classes, you will understand that in grade 10, when you're trying to find out the select angle measures, you are basically working all on the first quadrant. You're working everything on first quadrant. What does that mean? Let's see. Okay, so working everything on first quadrant. It means, now look at my arrow. I can have a different color. I've made an arrow. This is 0 degree. With the x-axis is making 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. You know, I'm playing only in this range. Is this clear? 0 degree, and degree is always made with the x-axis. 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. And therefore we say that we are working everything on first quadrant. 0 degree, 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. Now, you have to know the values of all the 6 ratios for these 5 angles. Means 6 into 5, 30 values should be right at your throat. Itna easy to hai nahi. But all of people like you have remembered, so there must be some trick by which we do this. Like if you ask me, what is sine 30 half? What is cos 30 root 3 by 2? What is cos 60? I will say it is half. It's memorized. How is that thing coming so easy? So we should learn that technique. In order to learn that technique, we will first learn 30 and 60. This will be the first we will learn. Suppose if you have forgotten also, we will take time in this chapter. This is the second we will learn how to get this measurement. Then we will learn this one as our third. Then we will learn this as our fourth. And this as our fifth. Gentlemen, like the saying smash, are you ready to learn about the first one? 30 degree. Is that fine? Yeah, sona nahi hai lekin. 30 degree. Ready? That means we will have a triangle which is right angled and one angle is 30. So how much should be the other angle? 60. What nonsense, you don't know this? We are having, if anybody yawns in my class, I always, no, you didn't yawn. To whom I have said, he has understood. You know. I keep pencils of different size. As you yawn, I just put the pencil inside. Yawning is like unpardonable offense. 3 times aged person to you is standing and taking classes and you are yawning. How dare you do that? How dare you do that? Okay. Chalo. So what do we have here? We have what do you call 30 degree. Sorry, where was I? So we have to now look for a triangle. Say, look, we are looking for a triangle ABC, and we will be first targeting the measurements for 30 degree. That means our triangle should be such that one angle has to be 30 degree, means the other angle will be how much? 60 degree. Is this much understood? Very good. Sir, how we will do this? For that reason, we have to revisit our equilateral triangle. Very good, sir. Bring the equilateral triangle. This is my equilateral triangle. Agreed? And I draw a perpendicular bisector. This is how you get the values. This is A, this is B, this is C. Equilateral triangle, what are the angle measures? All 60. But this will also behave as a bisector. Yeah, very good. So this will be how much? And this will be how much? 90 degree. So let's do some little bit of jugglery out here. Take the C portion out from here and write this as C and put this as D. All I'm interested is in a triangle which is a 60, 30, 90. Can I just cut off this triangle? Okay, so cut off kar lete hain. So let's cut off this triangle and put it out here. Okay, let's put it out here now. Imagine it's on that side, the same thing. Okay, so I now have A, I have a B, I have a C, which is a 90, 60, sorry, 30 and 60 degree. Children, are you fine so far? Are you fine so far? This was A, this was A, this was A by 2, this is A by 2. How much did we calculate this as? A root 3 by 2. You have doubt, you can go back to your previous screens. A root 3 by 2. Okay? Correct? So this is a by 2, A root 3 by 2. Now life is very easy. Who stops us? How much did I say? Cos 30 is? Sin 30 will be half. I told you, sine of 30 is half and cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Tan 30 will be 1 upon root 3. Amma, sir, remember so many things. Not a problem. Sine 30, 30. Opposite side. A by 2 divided by hypotenuse is A, which is A by 2 into 1 upon A. Cancel. Did you get it? Understood? Maja aayo? Hey, everybody, are you understanding it? Because if I laugh also, your faces are Cos 30, adjacent side, A root 3 by 2 divided by hypotenuse A. So A root 3 by 2 into 1 upon A. No. Root 3 by 2. Understood? Don't write. Just see these things. Easy to learn and easy to forget. Tan 30, opposite side, A by 2 divided by adjacent side, A root 3 by 2, which is A by 2 into 2 by A root 3. A gone, 2 gone, 1 upon root 3. Sir, you could have also done this as half divided by root 3 by 2, which would have also given me 1 by root 3. Have you understood? So in near future, if you ever forget how to find sine 30, you can always find it from this. This in your school will not be taught. They will just teach you the table and say, children, mug up the table and remember the table and come. लेकिन वो sin 30 कहाँ से आया? God only knows. GOK. And if you don't know what is GOK, then GTH, go to hell. Okay. अनुराग समझ में आया? How to deduce sin 30? If on a very good day your brain becomes like Karn, that in the battlefield you forget, then you should always. But ये सब तभी possible होगा if you know the equilateral triangle story. If you don't know that, then ये भी कोई काम का नहीं, है ना?
So can you explain it once more?
Which one?
The sin 30.
What is? Have you understood this triangle or not? Tell me. So the 30 is your theta now. What is sin theta? What was the rhyme I told you? Sokatova. So sine is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. Opposite by hypotenuse. ठीक है? Sin 30 ये चक्कर 30 ये है, ये इसका ऑपोजिट कौन है? ये ऑपोजिट है, ये हाइपो है. हाउ डू यू नो हाइपो? ऑपोजिट ऑफ 90 is hypo. Opposite by hypo, a by 2 divided by a, which is half. What is cos? Hey, नाखून मत खाओ. Eating your nails. Children, use sanitizer before you eat. No, sir, I bite nails. I'm from Uganda. I don't get food. Ka. Ka stands for cos is adjacent by. And then they will say, always clean your hands. You have sanitizer. Mama watched us to wash our hands. Zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And then okay. अभी समझ में आया? Sin, cos, tan. If that be the case, my children, can you do the same thing now for? I told you, we'll first attack what? We will be attacking 30 degree. Now we'll attack 60 degree. Okay, चलो 60 का निकालो. All the values for 60 you find out.
Can I say?
No, not saying, work out. 60 means now this one has become your. Okay, I'm writing them slowly. Sin 60 root 3 by 2. Sin, sorry. Root 3 by 2. Cos 60 will become half. Tan 60 will become root 3. देखो तो ये आ रहा है कि नहीं? Arey, what is the necessity to do it? When we take 60, the hypotenuse remains the same, but the opposite becomes adjacent, and the adjacent becomes opposite. So sine will become cos, cos will become sine. Yes or no? Just see. And the tan will just from 1 by root 3 become root 3. It is some trick will be there. That's why children remember it so many days. So now you have already understood that if you know 30 degree, you know 60 degree also. For all three primary and their girlfriends also. So let's write here the 30 degrees also I am writing. Okay. Sine 30 is equal to half. Cos 30 root 3 by 2. Tan 30 will be how much? 1 upon root 3. Now tell me one thing, children. What will be cosec 30? Half. 2. इसका उल्टा होगा. Cosec is reciprocal of this. Sec 30 is 2 by root 3. Cot 30 is root 3. If cot 30 is root 3, cot 60 will be 1 by root 3. And what will be sec of 60? 2. देखा? इसमें रिलेशन है, तो इनके गर्लफ्रेंड्स में भी रिलेशन होगा. ऐसे ही याद रखता. इसमें रिलेशन दिख रहा है ना, तो उसमें भी रिलेशन दिखेगा. 45 देख लें. 45 के बाद छोड़ देते हैं आपको. 45. How to go for 45? ठीक है, चलो 45 देखते हैं. In order to do 45, we have to bring a triangle which is known as isosceles triangle. or yeah, isosceles triangle, but not in this manner. Don't draw. We'll bring a isosceles right triangle. Let's take a isosceles right triangle. You know what is an isosceles right triangle? Yeah, this one is an isosceles right triangle. Okay, don't worry. 5 minutes ज़्यादा class होगा तो मर नहीं जाओगे तुम लोग. Okay. Now, if this is an isosceles one, then you tell me in terms of measurement. This is isosceles. So if this is A, this is how much? A. This is 90 degrees. So how much should this be? A square plus A square underneath root. So how much should this be? Root 2A. Or I can write it as A root 2. Did you understand? This is the hypotenuse, which is A square plus A square, which is root 2A square. A comes outside root 2. A root 2. Understood? If this is isosceles and this makes children 90 degree, I'm left with no other option to have this as 45 and have this as 45. Does it make it clear? Yes, I've become a British teacher now. And if this is 45, all right, sine of 45 degree will be opposite side, that's I, upon the hypotenuse, A root 2, which gives me 1 upon root 2. Is that fine? And if you do cos of 45, you'll be doing a very foolish job because cos takes the adjacent now. It's the same thing. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's also 1 upon root 2. So tan is left with no other option. And tan says, I'm going to 1 upon root 2 divided by another 1 upon root 2, which makes it 1 upon root 2 upon root 2 upon 1. That makes it 1. Did you see something? Which makes us understand something which you have not yet seen. And let's see what it is. Sine 30 is half, and so is cos 60, which is also half. Are you observing? Sine of 60 is root 3 by 2, okay? And okay, let me write it in this manner, it will become more interesting, okay? If you see here some interesting observations, cos of 30 gives me a root 3 upon 2, and so is a sine of 60, okay? So sine of 60 degree, which is also a root 3 by 2. Whereas if I take a sine of 45, I get a 1 by root 2. And if I take a cos of 45 degree, I get a 1 by root 2. Something very fishy happening out here. So the fishy thing that's happening is if you take two angles which add up to goddamn 90 degree, then the sine and coses will always give you the same value. Just have a look out here. If you take two angles which add up and give you 90 degree, the sines and the cos have the same value. If you take 30 and 60, they add up to 90, the sine and the cos give you the same value. If you take two 45 degrees and you make them add together, that yields a 90, you get the same value. Which gives us one more understanding. Two angles were left. What are the two angles? 0 and 90. How much is 0 plus 90? 90. What is the better word for them? Complementary angles. So a sine and a cos ratio for complementary angles are always same, which means sine of first triangle 3, 4, 5, 90, 37, 53. Sine 57 has to be equal to cos of 53. Sine 10 has to be equal to cos of 80. Sine 91, sine 81 has to be equal to cos of 9 degrees. And 0, we are left with two more measurements, right? We have to, that we will do in our next class. 0, 90, 30, 45, 60. Okay, na bachcha? You have done this. Now, if you add these two, it gives you how much? 90. That means whatever should be the value of sine 0, should be cos 90, and it's exactly sin 0 is 0. कैसे आता है देखेंगे. Cos 90 is also 0. Cos 0 is 1, sin 90 is also 1. Same value you will get. Tan 0 is 0. What is then? Very good. With this we end our class. Tan 0 is 0, which is absolutely correct. Can anybody tell me what is cot 0? Cot 0 will be how much? Cot 0 is called 1 upon 0. 1 upon 0 in mathematics is called not defined. Don't be what you call all this fanboy. Be something. Indeterminate means, wait, determine. Determine means find out. Indeterminate means something you cannot determine. In Hindi we say संज्ञा की परिभाषा. Paribhasha means definition. This is called aparibhashit. You have no definition for this. Indeterminate. And that is taken to be as ND, not defined, or as infinity. Anything divided by 0 is, in pure mathematics, this is called indeterminate form. So we're left with 0 degree and 90 degree. We'll see the values for these also. But the question is, in the exam, you cannot do all this rangralia. Some technique should be there so that the values are on your lips. You can't do this. This has been taught to you. If you land in problem, then this is the jack, this is the stepney, and this is the Tommy bar. This is how you can lift it. But you don't have that much time in exam. Exam means it's like Formula 1. Get it on the first lane. All the wheels have to come and crack it. And what else? Verstappen na kaun hai tumhara? Then you get on line 1. Okay, chalo.